back to my YouTube channel. I am so excited that you are here, and I hope that you are having an absolutely fantastic morning, afternoon, or night, whatever it is for you, when this video finally reaches you. Today's video is one that I am so excited to share with you guys because ever since I heard this story, it's one of those that just doesn't leave your mind and changes your perspective on life and ultimately death and life after death. I think so often I get caught up in the spooky stuff here on my channel that when I'm presented with an experience that is absolutely chilling, but in the best way, I get so excited to share it with you guys. So I hope that you guys are excited for today's video as well. And without further ado, let's get into it. So today's story was actually sent in to me by a woman named Cheyenne. And when she started off her email to me, right off the get-go, she was saying how she knows how crazy this sounds. She knows that it might sound completely unbelievable, but she didn't know who else to send it to. What is that? Like, oh, I thought it was like a jet or something, but there's a little truck going by. My subdivision right now is a construction zone, which is awfully ironic considering it's the month that I'm filming like every single day. So apologies if you hear any sort of background noise with that. Oh, also, side note, you guys have been hearing a lot of like tapping and clicking in my videos, and I can say I've heard it too in editing, and I don't know exactly what it is. So if you have any theories, let your girl know, but let's get back to the story. So yeah, as I was saying right off the get-go, Cheyenne was saying how she knows that this sounds completely unbelievable, but that we believe in the unbelievable here, and she wanted to share it. And I do also want to say she gave me permission to share it with you guys as well. So Cheyenne and her mom were very close from the moment that Cheyenne was born. Her mom was a single mom who worked incredibly hard to provide Cheyenne with the life that she never had. Now, the way that Cheyenne described it in her email was that it was almost like a generational thing, and that each and every generation struggled with money and giving their kids even the basic needs. And Cheyenne's mom, right off the get-go, really wanted to break that generational curse, so to speak. She wanted to work her butt off and give Cheyenne everything that she never had. So growing up, Cheyenne said she wasn't rich by any means, but she had a very, very hardworking mom, and she never lacked. As I said, the two were extremely close from the moment that she was born, and Cheyenne can't remember a moment that her mom wasn't there for her up until Cheyenne's teenage years. Cheyenne's mother would unfortunately suffer a traumatic event when Cheyenne was in her teens, and this would lead to heavy and excessive drinking. Cheyenne said it was the first time that she felt a real disconnect from her mom, and she felt like she almost had to fend for herself in a sense. All of her mom's savings that she saved up over the years of her hard work were being blown on excessive amounts of alcohol. Her mom was out until the late hours of the night, and Cheyenne was forced to get a job pretty young, like right at the age you can get a job and fend for herself. She was buying groceries for herself, trying to help her mom with the bills and keep them afloat during this difficult time. And because of this, as soon as Cheyenne had saved enough money, she moved out of the home that she shared with her mother, and their relationship had a big, heavy strain on it. In her 20s, it was something that Cheyenne really struggled with, was letting people in and getting close to people because the closest person to her had chose what Cheyenne thought was the bottle over her. She felt like her mom didn't care about her anymore, that she'd chosen alcohol, and couldn't comprehend why suffering a traumatic event would lead to drinking, which unfortunately happens to quite a few people. In Cheyenne's early 30s, she would get married, to which her mom did not attend the wedding. She was in rehab at the time, and she would have a couple of children as well, hoping to once and for all break that generational curse. But one day, everything that Cheyenne ever knew would change. Cheyenne would leave work after an extremely difficult day, and she was feeling rather defeated. She described it as one of those days where you just want to go home and you don't want to talk to anybody, you don't want to cook, you don't want to do anything. So Cheyenne decided she was going to stop and get her family pizza on the way home, feed her kids and husband, and hit the hay. She was not interested in speaking to anybody. Right after Cheyenne picked up the pizza, and as she was driving home, her mother's name would appear up on her phone. Now, initially, Cheyenne wanted to decline the call because number one, she was already exhausted, and number two, she felt like this phone call was going to be her mom asking her for money for booze or something of that nature. She didn't have the energy to deal with it. But right when the call was about to go to voicemail, Cheyenne had a change of heart and decided to answer the call. On the other line was her mother, sounding more sober than Cheyenne had heard her in any of the recent years, and her mom sounded like she was in a rush to get a message to Cheyenne. Right off the bat, Cheyenne's mom started saying, "Cheyenne, Cheyenne," to which Cheyenne said, "Mom, like, what's wrong?" Her mom proceeded to tell her how much she loved her, how sorry she was for the years that she was not present, that it wasn't about the alcohol, that she would never have chosen alcohol over her daughter if it was that simple, and that she is so proud of the wife and mother that her daughter is, and that she loves her with all of her heart. Cheyenne told her, "I love you too, Mom. Like, are you okay? Well, what's going on?" And her mom said, "I'm okay. I just need to know that you are." And Cheyenne said, "I'm okay." They both said that they loved each other, and they hung up the phone. Here's where things take an absolutely chilling turn. Cheyenne would later find out that her mother had been in a car accident that was not her fault and had passed away. Where this gets chilling is that the car accident happened before the phone call. Oh, I'm getting chills saying it. And she had been killed on scene. When Cheyenne told the doctors what had happened, they said that that was actually impossible. There is no way that she spoke to her mother at the time that she did, because she was dead upon their arrival to the scene a few hours before. When Cheyenne went to show them her call log to show that she had in fact spoken to her mother, the phone call was never there. It was as though the phone call never existed. Can you guys believe that? So Cheyenne believes to this day that from beyond, her mother found a way to call her, contact her, and bring peace to her in knowing that her mom is okay and that her mom loves her, and that it was never to do with her. It was to do with her trauma and how she unfortunately chose to cope with it. Cheyenne said that since then, it has changed every way that she views our world and that she views life after death. And Cheyenne encourages people, one of the biggest reasons actually that she wanted me to share this with you, to tell those that you love them, but to know that if somebody you love has passed away and maybe your relationship had a strain on it or you weren't that close, don't worry. On the other side, everything is going to be okay, and it's just goodbye for now. It's not goodbye forever. I've actually heard of cases like this a couple of times where people have gotten calls from the grave, but when I heard this one and it was from one of you guys, I just had to share it with you. Like, it gave me complete and utter chills to hear that. Like, I can't even imagine how she must have been feeling finding out that her mom had died on scene and knowing that she'd had a conversation with her mom afterwards. Cheyenne literally said in the email, "People have told me that perhaps I imagined it, but I know in my heart, no matter what way I look at it, I did not imagine it. I spoke to my mother and I got the peace in her death that I never could have gotten in her life." I want to encourage any of you watching this video to, if you are comfortable, share your experiences, should you have any, with the other side that are beautiful and that give people hope in knowing that when we pass away or our loved ones pass away, it's not goodbye forever. We don't live just to die and that's it. There is so much more beyond this. As I always say, we are spiritual beings having an earthly experience. So if you guys have any beautiful paranormal encounters or even signs from your angels or loved ones, I would love, if you are comfortable, for you to share them in the comment section down below. And that is it for today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I know it wasn't all that scary, but I think it's chilling in the best way possible, so I wanted to share it nonetheless. If you guys are new to my channel or you are just not yet subscribed but you do enjoy my content, I would seriously love it if you would go ahead and click that subscribe button, and please give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Remember, my loves, do all things with kindness, and until next time, I love you.